Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rebel Chumps channel. Today we're gonna take a look at the new Saberforge Xiphos. This is the 2018 model. It's released in the Apprentice Hilt line that is in the same line as the Saberforge Bastion, Acolyte, and a whole bunch of other lightsabers. It's a fairly inexpensive lightsaber line from Saberforge. They start at $75 empty. And for what you get in terms of the quality of the hilts, it being mostly one piece, and pommel of course separate, but these are really cool lightsabers. They have a nice diameter. We will delve into the specs in a moment, but let's start taking a look at the emitter itself. We take out the blade plug first. So this is the blade plug that came with the lightsaber. It has this resembling of the core, that chest core of was that Tony Stark in the Iron Man series, the movies. It has this like chamber on there. I do believe this has to resemble a Datacron or holocron from a Sith, which is a good choice because I will show you my color of LED in a moment. It has some writing on there. You guys can translate that. This is the inside of the blade plug, so a little bit of a change there. With these new blade plugs from Saberforge, they opted to have a white inner piece here in the bottom. Instead, in the past it was just transparent and then the light shined through it and it was still pretty darn bright, and now it's being filtered by this white piece of plastic in there, and I think that's a really good thing from Saberforge because it really helps you preventing your eyes from being blinded. And then we go to the emitter. The emitter has a whole bunch of resembling corners, and this feels like home. If you have, for example, the Saberforge Gladius, the 2015 model, which is currently the Elite Hilt available on the Saberforge website. But it has this very reminiscent design. So let's start with the innards of the hilt. We have a deep blade socket, as you can see. Even the inside has been powder coated. You see the hole for the retention screw. Let me show you how deep that blade socket is. Get a measurement here, and we're gonna go to the inches. And let's see if we can do that in a clear way. Actually, let me get the other measurement because this one is more for diameters and whatnot. So let me grab the other one really quick so we have a really good idea of the blade socket, which I got here right next to me. So this is a much better measurement for that. Here we go. Go inside the hilt, and it clocks in around 2 inches deep. So the emitter is nice and deep. That's good. Some people always ask me, well, actually I get this question a lot, how deep is the blade socket from the retention screw on from top? So let's show that. That's well, 1.5 inches deep. So that means the retention screw ties onto the blade 1/2 inches in, and then you have another 1/2 inch before the LED unit starts. So that's really nice. That's very good. I love the deeper blade sockets because in general the hilt is a little bit less prone to have a blade wobble. Interesting enough, in this hilt, before I go into further details, now I'm talking about the LED. The LED is held in place by these LED screws, but in the Gladius or the Xiphos they actually have 2 of them. And it's not too common that we see Saberforge LED units held in place by 2 retention screws. I'm not sure why that was done. I do not mind it though, because I do think it's good that the LED has that extra power to hold it in place. Not that it really needs it, but it's kind of nice. So moving on, we have the Tsuba, of course. The Tsuba is a nice wide Tsuba. Let me measure that up for you guys so you have an idea about the width of the Tsuba. That is, I would say, around 1/2 inch wide. So that gives you a nice gripping against your knuckles, or the upper side of your hand basically. So you have a good tight grip on there. Plus you have these 2 recessed pieces here, the 2 recesses, and they help you to give you a good grip. And as you can see, it's a really cool design there as well. Let's get that focus on there. That's really cool. I like this design. It's really neat. Then we go to the middle portion, and the middle portion is a little bit different also with the original Gladius. So the original Gladius that is already depreciated, or the 2015 model, are based on the Elite line, and those are basically having a wider dimension in terms of thickness of the hilt. So in this case, because it's an apprentice hilt, it's a bit thinner, and I show you how thin the circumference is compared to, for example, an Elite Saber, which I don't have here, but you have an idea, you can find those specs. But let me do that on the camera. The circumference is around 4.4 inches. Well, maybe a little bit thinner. So that is actually quite nice. I like that, and it feels nice, and definitely feels nice and sturdy in the hand. But it's not overly thick as well at the same time. Then we have the control section. So this is a champion tier lightsaber, so it has light and sound. This is the 12mm AV lit switch. It's recessed in this recession hole for the controls. Then we have the mini or micro USB port here, that is to charge the lightsaber and to access the soundboard, the Sabercore 3.0, by using the Sabercore software that is available for Windows 10 64 bits. You can see the buttons are both recessed, so they're not sticking out, and that's quite nice. Then we have the control section in the middle, or control section. We have the choke point in the middle, as you see, nice and thin. I like that actually. It's really nice. It really breaks the lightsaber, and that makes the Gladius really stand out for a few reasons. You have that Tsuba, you have that upper section, you have that recessed middle point, and then you have the leather grip and then slightly beefier pommel. Speaking about the lower section, this is the Saberforge Bronze Stingray. I wanted to have that because I always feel that's really beautiful with the Gladius for some reason. I feel like it's really matching really good, and it looks really nice. And then we have the pommel. The pommel again has the same type of designs as on the emitters, so it comes back, so you have these squared off corners here, or cutouts here, both on the Tsuba and the pommel area. Showing that. Then we have the CoverTech wheel. This is the older CoverTech version. They have a new version of CoverTech wheels now. This Saber did not come with that version, but I'm fine with this version. Then we have the pommel, which I'm going to show now. Let me take her off really quick. So this is a pommel that is also be found on the Saberforge Xiphos V1. Now this is a little bit confusing. What I mean with Xiphos V1 is, but I did a review about a Saberforge Xiphos. It's weathered with a purple leather grip. You can see that in my review. But it had the same little pommel, and the difference with the original Gladius is that the pommel threads are a lot shorter on the later version. So in this version as well, there's less threads on it, so it's not as pronounced as with the original Gladius, but it's still fine. So it has a metal bracket here that keeps debris hitting into your speaker. If you desire, you can take out this sear clip and then turn it around, so you have the black side facing here and the silver part facing the inside, so you have that option. That's a little feature that Saberforge has there. Not many people know about it, but yeah, you can do that. Just take out the sear clip, and then you can pop this out, this speaker fan thingy, and then flip it around, stick it back, and put this sear clip back, and that's it. Put this to the side for the moment, showing the speaker. So it has a 28mm bass speaker, and now I don't think this is actually with the new chassis, to be honest. Reason for saying that is I think, as you see, there's some glue residue around the speaker that indicates that the speaker is held in place by a piece of PVC plastic that is cut out in a circular shape, and then the speakers glued into there. So inside, my electronics are the same one as a lot of them there are still, that is in a blue heat shrink, the battery and the Saber Core 3.0, and it's fine. It doesn't rattle, there's no rattle at all, it doesn't move. But it doesn't have the new polycarbonate chassis yet, which will come very soon. I think the Prodigal Sun, the new Prodigal Sun from Saberforge, will be the new Saber where they're gonna start shipping their new Saberforge lightsabers with a chassis. So a little bit more specs about the length of the hilt, and so we have that covered as well from start to finish. And here we go. The hilt is around 10.1 inches long, or 10 inches long, and that's really nice. That's a nice length. It's a little bit on the short end for some people, so you might have people that like the saber as a one-hander. Some people can easily do it with two-handers. For me, I can easily hold this lightsaber with two hands without any issues, but I can imagine the taller people with bigger hands might find this a little bit of a too compact lightsaber. This saber is of course also sold and advertised as a duel-worthy lightsaber, so you can go out there and duel with your friends. I also want to weight the saber, so you have an idea how much this saber weighs. So let me put in the blade plug really quick, so we have a nice full idea of the weight. Well, just a light for a second, and here we go. Put it on the weight scale. Oh, and then we're gonna toggle between the units there. So you want to stay still. That's gonna be maybe tricky. Come on, you can do it. Come on, come on, come on. Don't move, please. Okay, so see still. So C weights 010.6 CA, and then we're gonna move to another unit. So that is 0.890 lb and 0.404 kg. So around 400 grams in terms of weight. I think that's really acceptable. 404 grams for a lightsaber with a blade plug, with a Saber Core 3 soundboard, with a quad-3 LED, with a battery recharge port and whatnot. And I think it's a very acceptable weight for this lightsaber. It feels nice in the hand, it feels compact, it's a neat little saber. Overall, I think Saberforge did a fantastic job with this lightsaber. I highly recommend picking it up. Stay tuned for part 2, or check out part 2, where I'm gonna fire on the lightsaber, show some more features of this lightsaber. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.